Hello, everyone, and welcome to Upepo Voices, where stories breathe and voices matter. I am your host, Claire Wainaina, and today we are joined by a guest. His name is Kevin Tuei, and I'm going to give him this opportunity to introduce himself.
Thank you so much, Claire. Appreciate it. My name is Kevin Tuei, as Claire has mentioned,
Mhm,
and I'm on a mission to make the world a better place through technology.
mhm,
And how do I intend to do this? I'm on a mission in two ways. First of all, to train over 100,000 young Africans across the continent in cloud, AI, and
mhm,
cybersecurity, as well
mhm,
as lead tech projects that
mhm.
create impacts around quality education and gender equality. So that's usually my elevator pitch if I meet anyone. And what is my ask? I always ask people is always show up. The
Mhm.
moment you show up, you're 100%, like you're like 50% already done, or even 70%. In terms of
Yeah.
work,
Mhm,
I'm the board member and the CTO for Solavis Tech. I'm
mhm,
also a lecturer and the director for distance learning at Tharaka University. I'm also a
mhm,
technical mentor at Moringa School. And
mhm,
I also work together with different consulting organizations like Computer Pride, Data Alma, and many
mhm.
others. Sometimes I usually lose count. But the bottom line is I usually prefer being a community leader. I lead
Mhm.
different communities. That
Yeah.
is Atlassian Meru, HashiCorp
Mhm,
User Group Meru,
mhm,
AWS ML User Group Kenya. And
mhm.
yeah, I think those are the ones that I can be able to put out into. And also I'm a member of different professional associations. That is ISACA Kenya chapter, the Data
Yeah.
Privacy and Governance Society of Kenya, as well as
Mhm.
the PMI, Project Management Institute Kenya chapter. So that's basically how I introduce myself.
Now, allow me to take it back a little. Now, at
Yeah,
a point that you're comfortable to begin, will you tell us
yeah.
who is the person behind all these achievements, all these inspirational things?
So the person behind all these achievements is one, it goes back to one young boy who
Mm-hmm,
wanted to prove the world wrong. What
mm-hmm,
happened to me in 20, let me say 2007, when I was in Form 4, is
yeah.
I missed university, like that usually called joint admissions board. It's now called CUSIPS, like the central placement. I
Mm-hmm,
missed it by 2 points. It was so
okay.
heartbreaking because my
Mm-hmm,
dad had already retired when I was in Form 1. So I knew
mm-hmm,
without the government sponsorship, my
mm-hmm,
chances of going to university are like from zero to like so slim, from 100 to like so slim, because I knew
yeah.
he didn't have enough money to take me for self-sponsored and parallel program,
Mm-hmm,
that was called then. So what happened is it fired up a fire in my belly. And I actually, that time we used to wait 2 years.
yeah.
So I waited 2 years, and when
Mm-hmm,
something else happened, there's something called black tax. Black
yeah.
tax is where like your elder sibling gets their
Mm-hmm,
life and act together, then they
mm-hmm,
have to sort out the other siblings,
yeah.
and they so on and so on and so on. So that's called the black tax. So that is
Mm-hmm,
what essentially happened. My sister had to get her life all together. Then she
mm-hmm,
finally told my dad, maybe I can take a loan and support my brother to get to campus. And I
mm-hmm,
found the cheapest program, because I told my dad, if I'm
mm-hmm,
not going to do computer science, I'm not going to go and do other weird courses. No
mm-hmm,
offense to any other course that is out there, because that's what I really wanted. So
mm-hmm,
that is what happened. Then what happened is
mm-hmm,
I really wanted to prove the government wrong, that if just because I didn't get the cut off the aggregate, but I was
yeah.
qualified for computer science, I went
Mm-hmm,
in, got my first class. I got
mm-hmm,
the best first class in the faculty. All the while, I was those kind of people who you think are the jokers in campus. I founded the salsa club. I used to be a dancer. I usually used to dance at graduations,
mm-hmm,
those kind of different things. And
mm-hmm,
people think dancers are the people who education in Wakata. So they just
yeah.
dance to cover
Mm-hmm,
up the whole thing. So when I
yeah.
got a first class, people were shocked. And then I
Yeah.
got a scholarship to do my master's. Then COVID struck. It took me
Mm-hmm,
like, instead of taking me 3 years, it took me 5 years, because I was also sorting out things in the organization in Taraka.
mm-hmm,
Finally got that, and right now I'm on the road to finishing up my PhD. So the person behind all these achievements is
mm-hmm,
one young boy who wanted to prove the world wrong, that grade doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
you can make it as long as you really want, if you really want it and you have the fire in your belly.
And why specifically computer science?
So for me, I saw a computer when I was in standard 6 in Mamangina Primary School. We got a donation from some, I don't know, some, and the donations are those ones that like, these are the used computers that are no longer important in their lives on the other side. But I
Yeah.
was so fascinated. I was so fascinated about it. And from there, it was the only thing I would think about. Even when I was in high school, if I go to the computer lab, I'd feel like I'm in this zone
Yeah.
where nothing else doesn't that exists. And I felt, and sometimes people used to think that the moment you're on a computer, you're playing games. You know, like your even your
Yeah.
parents would be like, "Achana na computer, endo ukasome." They'd be like, "Stop using that computer, go and do the serious thing on your books."
Yeah.
But the whole thing around it was, I was so fascinated that this small thing, something can be happening in a screen, like right now where we are,
Yeah.
and it can impact the whole world. And that
Yeah.
is how I got in. And that is how I got fascinated about computer and computer science.
And
Yeah.
I was scrolling through your page recently and I came across an award that took you to State House. Would you tell us more
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah. So there's a whole funny story about it. This is how it happened. There was something called Connected Africa Summit that was happening at the Edge Convention Center. I don't remember the exact dates, but I attended that. I was attending it on behalf of Tharaka University and just looking at what is going on there. And
Yeah.
then what happened is there's a certain guy called Michael Kamau. He's the Huawei ICT Academy manager for Kenya.
Yeah.
And as you were taking lunch, it was a lunch session. I saw him, and you know that's that kind of a thing when you see someone and you are super excited to see them, and you've been doing a couple of things together. I was like, "Hi, Michael, how are you? Hope you're doing well." Then we took lunch, and then everyone went on their way because Huawei was there for a different reason. I was there for another reason.
Yeah.
Then what happened is I also for the first time I tried to do something weird. I scheduled an exam and certification exam, online one, at 3 p.m. on a conference. So I had booked with a certain lady in Edge Convention to give me a room to go and do the exam.
Yeah.
So I went in, do the exam for 2 hours. 5 p.m. my exam ends. It was something around data engineering. And then when I turn on my phone, because I had to turn off my phone so that I'm not disturbed,
Yeah.
5 minutes after I turn on my phone, I get a call from Michael. Says, "Kevin, there's an opportunity to go to China. Are you interested?" Then I'll be like, "What do you want?" Then I say, like, "I'm going to be sending you an email." I didn't even listen clearly, but I knew that I have to act on sending a passport biodata page. And that is how I got into it. I got into the opportunity to go. And he told me on one condition, we want you to mentor we want you to mentor a team that is going there so that they can succeed. And we did that. It was 1 month before. Then we went there. We flew to China.
Yeah.
And once we were there, the craziest thing happened. Like it is a whole week thing, but we landed on Sunday, but there was an exam. The competition is an exam, 8-hour exam that happened on
Okay.
a Tuesday. So on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. we were all settled in the rooms where they were supposed to do the exam, took the pictures, do the photo ops. We enjoyed that. It was posted in Huawei Kenya page. Then the craziest thing happened in that exam. Within that exam is 2 parts, like it's a hands-on, so expensive, expert level exam for the students for the competition. Their laptop did not work. The laptop for the team that was handling AI was not working for like 3 hours. So they were starting the AI exam 3 hours late. And then when we were finishing, because as instructors, we could not participate, we are not supposed to be in the room. We're just there outside giving moral support. We were wondering why is the Kenya team not coming out? Then we were being told that they've been added 1 hour because they were having some issues. And remember, there was also language barrier between the Chinese people and them. They could not get to understand each other why there's an issue. Then we had to go in there and sit down with them, and even Michael was there to tell them, please allow these people to finish their work so that they can submit. But what I learned, and when they were getting out there, the students, they were like, this thing we have really messed up. We have really messed up, and we are not going to make it. But I told them, were you able to submit? Were you able to do something? Don't worry. And flash forward to Friday when we were having the closing ceremony, I had a hunch that these guys have won. I saw Michael was super happy. It was like, he's even saying, Kevin, you guy. So I knew there was something up. But he didn't want to tell us because we knew, obviously, he knew maybe beforehand who are the winners and all these different things. But that moment when we realize you're going to be number one, like the grand prize, is when everyone is called and you now realize you're the only one who have not been called. And there's no way you cannot be called. Even if you participate, you are called out for a third prize. It really hit us, and that is when we are hugging each other and almost about to cry.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking this, because the reason why I've zoomed into that moment is for people to realize that we might have gone to State House, but there are so many nuances to that opportunity to get to State House.
Yeah.
And when we were given that opportunity, when Catherine was given that opportunity to speak on behalf of the students, and me as the mentor and the lecturer who spoke on behalf of the lecturers, because I led the team that brought the grand prize to Kenya. Kenya winning that for the first time since the inception of the competition 10 years ago, I realized that we have to justify our privilege. We have to justify the privileges we get. The privilege I got to be the one leading the team, I had to justify it by mentoring that team to do the right thing. And trust me, they told me I did one simple thing. That is why I told you about popping the balloon, and it only requires an email. They told me, Kevin, you remember that best practices document we opened the day before the exam on how to resume a model from when it is being trained? It helped us a lot, because when the model was failing, we knew how the code to put so that it can resume from where it went. And that it got me really thinking that now, even when I was given that 5 minutes to speak in front of the president, it got me thinking that truly there are so many people who would have wanted to be in that position that I had. But the question would be, if I look back, what will I be proud of the privilege that I got, maybe on behalf of community, on behalf of many other people who would have been even more eloquent, more decorated to stand in front of the president and do that. So for me, it was a really nice experience. We got a grand prize. We also got a trophy. I even decided I took the trophy home, and I want to get it. And I also have a portrait picture that I'll show my children, and my children will show their children's children, and all that. That is going to happen. So that's how it happened. And I really appreciate the whole team that made it happen.
Yeah, congratulations to that. And something that specifically stands out for me is when you said that you got the call immediately after taking an exam. So it presents an opportunity where preparedness meets opportunity. Because if you were not prepared for that role, your name will have never come up. So that is very inspiring, and it should challenge everyone in this call and who will watch or listen. So now coming to today's topic, we are speaking about from individual contributor to collective impact, specifically on letting go of control. What do you understand by that theme?
Yeah, for me, what I understand is, we always start as individuals. There's no way you can come in and say, I'm ready to work as a team. Let's do community. People have to see you as Claire, right? And that is where we start. And then as we move on, as people get to know what we can offer, now they can be able to give us an opportunity to contribute. They tell us, Kevin, can you do this for us? Can you write that? Can you be an MC for us? Or can you be able to do this and that? And that also becomes an opportunity to do what? To create impact. So that is how I understand that thing.
And what will you say your relationship with control looks like?
Yeah, I have to be honest, there are times I felt like control is the best thing. Is the best thing ever. And like you want to make sure that everything is in your hands. If it's, for example, when I told you that I thought I've gotten a B, then I'm being told my B aggregate is it can allow a lady to join university and not a gentleman. How painful can that be? And that means that I realize that everything is not in my control. And it's just that I've not told you the 3 years. Those 3 years, I
Mm-hmm.
applied to Kabarak, I applied to JKUAT, I
Mm-hmm.
applied, I don't know, I think 3 universities. And the funny thing is, I was getting even the letter of offers. And
Mm-hmm.
that is why you have to give it up for our parents. Like our
Mm-hmm.
parents have a way of just making sure they don't kill our hope. My
Yeah.
dad knows very well he doesn't have the money, but he allows me to apply. Allows me to
Yeah.
even go to the pastor and get the pastor's recommendation letter. Then
Yeah.
when you get the letter of offer, it now says, my son, I don't have money to take you, but let's see what we can do. So it was
Mm-hmm.
just keeping the hope going.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the thing about at the moment I let go of the control and I said, ikuje venye itakuja. If I
Yeah.
ever go to university, come what may, that is when
Mm-hmm.
things happen. So I understand that we start with that nagging feeling of wanting to be in control, but the moment we let it go,
Mm-hmm.
that is when things start happening for us.
Mm-hmm. And what was that defining moment for you where you realized that you really could do it all alone?
There are so many moments in my life when I realized I cannot do it alone. And the one is when I came
Mm-hmm.
back, when I had an opportunity in 2024 December to go to
Yeah.
Las Vegas for reInvent, AWS reInvent.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked myself, okay, I've gone to Las Vegas. There are so many people in my community which I represent and which
Mm-hmm.
I put in my application and made me accepted that didn't get that opportunity. But
Yeah.
what will I do to take Las Vegas and reInvent to back to Kenya? So I
Mm-hmm.
realized I have to. Then I researched and I saw in Africa, there's no specialized user group in AWS for AI and machine learning. And I said,
Yeah.
what I've seen another one in Japan, I've seen others in other continents, in
Mm-hmm.
Asia.
Mm-hmm.
What should I do? I said I need to start that user group. But then I had to realize that again, I cannot do
Mm-hmm.
this all alone. So I
Yeah.
said I have to start it on the right way. So I had to look for 5 people, five leaders who are
Mm-hmm.
going to come together, come through for me, so that in
Mm-hmm.
case Kevin is not there, the user group will still run. And then
Mm-hmm.
I started selling the vision to them. I sold the
Yeah.
vision and told them we want to do these transforming ideas to impact using AWS ML, what. And they
Mm-hmm.
agreed. And
Mm-hmm.
the funny thing is I had 5 people at the start, but
Mm-hmm.
one of them didn't quite get the vision at first, and I had to pull the person out of
Yeah.
the team. So
Mm-hmm.
it taught me that as much as you'd want to get people to come and work with you, not
Mm-hmm.
everyone will come to you as in at that point in time. Maybe they'll realize later. So I had to pull them out, and then I had
Yeah.
to bring in somebody else. And right now we've moved. It's 1 year. We were celebrating 1 year in April of this year, and we've moved
Mm-hmm.
from 5 members, the 5 leaders, to over 1,300 members on Meetup. And we've heard
Wow.
of us like 9, 10 physical events. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't even count the virtual events. And that,
Mm-hmm.
if Kevin was doing it all alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot even talk about the volunteers because we have a volunteer system, we have a
Yeah.
docket system, people have roles and dockets, and then we have the
Mm-hmm.
amazing members in the user group. So that
Mm-hmm.
is how I can be able to put it into perspective that
Mm-hmm.
that was a very good defining moment that is still sticking with me,
Mm-hmm.
that I could not do it all alone.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think
Yeah.
so many people struggle with letting go of control?
I believe people struggle because
Mm-hmm.
it is scary to let it be in the hand of others. Even we usually love to say let go and let God, but it's
Mm-hmm.
easier said than done.
Yeah.
It is scary to say just we wait it and let's just have it to fate or to God or to
Mm-hmm.
others. That is that's the reason why people scare. The other reason why people find it hard to let go of control. Sometimes, to
Mm-hmm.
say the truth, is I don't know the word around it. I think it's pride, kiburi, right? Like you want to say,
Yeah.
like, the moment if I give it to Kevin, Kevin will get all the glory,
Mm-hmm.
or I have to have all the glory to myself.
Yeah.
It has to go back to Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
The alpha should be Kevin, the omega should be Kevin in the user group. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
those are some of the things. Then the third thing I can say that people choose, for the reason why people choose also to not let go of control, is sometimes
Mm-hmm.
envious
Okay.
of other people and all the
Mm-hmm.
other different things. So those 3 things, things I can be able to put it into perspective.
And I actually agree with you because something that has always baffled me are these people who call themselves self-made billionaires. Because I honestly
Mhm,
do not understand how you can term yourself as that. Because even for you
mhm,
to reach to a point where you are at, it took people, even if you are using
true.
machines, these machines had
Mhm,
to be curated by people themselves. So I think
exactly.
people really have to give the people who are helping them the honors that they deserve and actually acknowledge that the part in which that they participate and not take, as you have said, all the glory to themselves. Now I wanted to ask, is there an event where you trusted someone with something and it ended up even reaching, um she or he ended up doing something that better than you would have done it yourself?
I can count so many of them. And
Mm-hmm,
I still, because I'm still in the team of the user group, I
mm-hmm,
will I will use the example of how the team leaders.
mm-hmm.
There's one guy called Jacob. So we usually have this thing called a leadership pulse check every week,
Yeah.
non-negotiable, every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm,
So what usually happens, sorry if you're
mm.
getting some background noise,
It's okay.
is that he started leading, and also another lady called Julie. They
Mm-hmm,
started leading that pulse check up to a point I'm just saying
mm-hmm.
I couldn't have done it that way. I
Yeah.
couldn't have made it so flawless and such. So
Mm-hmm,
those are some of the moments. And then
mm-hmm.
the other time, the other opportunity, if I go to another place, is also the aspect around the Huawei competition, the ICT competition, and having those. I knew I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be the leader of the team that went on to win the grand prize. But
Yeah.
I had to allow them. And
Mm-hmm,
let me tell you the story. There's one guy called Salem Lumumba. He was one of
mm-hmm.
the team members,
Yeah.
and he told me something when before we left Kenya, and he told me, Kevin, I had
Mm-hmm,
an opportunity to go to China
mm-hmm.
in 2023 and I got second prize. It
Yeah.
pained me so much, and this is my final chance to
Mm-hmm,
go and redeem myself. And I don't
mm-hmm.
want anything less. I want the grand prize. And then he
Yeah.
told me, this is not just a competition, this is
Mm-hmm,
war. And it was
mm-hmm,
like, wow. And they're like, you're saying this is not just a competition, this is war. So it got
mm-hmm,
me into the mentality around it. And I said, the only thing I need to
mm-hmm,
do is give these people the space and tell them,
mm-hmm.
I trust you. And then
Yeah.
I was always asking them, how are you going to do it? How are you going to meet?
Mm-hmm,
How are you going to approach the exam? Then he told me,
mm-hmm,
then I say, I support you. I see you're doing it right. How are you going to do
mm-hmm,
this? So the only thing I was doing is keeping
mm-hmm,
them accountable and supporting them and say you're on the right track. So those are
mm-hmm,
some of the situations I can tell you. And he went on and he finally redeemed himself. He
mm-hmm,
finally got the grand prize,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to stick with him for the rest of his life. And I'm so happy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
when it comes to delegation, sorry, what do you
Mhm,
think are some of the most important attributes that someone has to look for before
mhm.
delegating or rather selling a vision to someone?
The attributes I would say is, first of all, can say self-discipline. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm,
ability. For me, I know you cannot delegate to someone and still micromanage them and ask them,
mm-hmm,
"Umefika wapi? Where have you
mm-hmm,
reached?" Every 2 hours, you're asking, "Have you done that?"
mm-hmm.
People can feel when you delegate without trust. And
Yeah.
when you delegate and you don't trust someone, then you have not even delegated in the first place.
Mm-hmm,
So one thing is self-discipline. The other thing I
mm-hmm,
look at is the technical or the capacity of that person to do that thing. There,
mm-hmm,
if I tell you I'm entrusting you to like, let's say, organize the catering
mm-hmm,
for a physical event that is going to be happening maybe somewhere in Nairobi,
mm-hmm,
and yet I've never seen you coordinate that very well. And
mm-hmm,
then you are like, you just say yes because it is Kevin and you don't want to let Kevin down, then you
mm-hmm,
mess it up.
mm-hmm,
Then I'm like, why are you being able to do that? The mistake is not you, it is me, because
mm-hmm,
I entrusted you with something that I did not witness you have the capacity of doing. But if I
mm-hmm,
give you the opportunity and I say, Claire, a could you lead a panel or moderate a panel in the
mm-hmm,
session? I'd be happy because I've seen you're doing this and amazingly.
mm-hmm,
And I'll be shocked why were you able not to be able to do it physically and you're doing it amazingly online. So those are some of
mm-hmm,
the things that you have to look at. their self-discipline, and second thing is, do they have the capacity to do that which you're delegating to them?
I think that is also a challenge for people to actually put themselves out there and actually market their businesses, or rather the services that they offer, because closed mouth do not get fed.
True.
And now, coming back to selling your vision, how do you balance trust with maintaining high standards?
Yeah, that's a very tricky question. And trust means letting go. That's the first thing. Maintaining high standards is putting someone, making someone accountable for what they have done.
Yeah.
And for me, I always see that you have to exchange expectations beforehand. For example, if I tell you, I want you to maybe look at the logistics around a leadership meeting retreat, maybe somewhere in Nanyuki. There, I cannot just leave it at that. I have to tell you that I want you to make sure that you look for the venue by this time. I'd like you to make sure that the budget is between this much and this much, because that is what maybe the organization will support. I have to make it very clear about the standards. I have to tell you that the venue should not be somewhere where it is dingy. I have to make it very clear so that I hold you to the right standard. The problem we see a lot, especially happening in different spaces, is that we have more managers and leaders, or people who just tell you something and then they want you to figure it out by yourself. Then the moment you do it to your best of your thinking and your ability, they now tell you that, no, that one is so low standard, or that thing. And yet they didn't tell you in advance what high standards means to them. Yeah.
And have you ever had to step back so someone else could step up? And what was that like?
Yeah, so many times. For example, when there was a time like I was emceeing, we had our first launch event for AWS AIML user group, and then we had virtual events when it
Yeah.
comes to hosting. So I realized that I'm becoming too much of the face of the user group. I'm hosting every session, I'm hosting every speaker,
Yeah.
and all these other different things. Then I told the team when I went back, and we had I don't know, I'm hearing myself. Anyway,
Yeah, she has moved
we,
her mic, sorry.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so I was saying, like, we had another leadership pulse check, and I said, I told there's a lady, and no offense to them because I know they won't have an issue with that. There's a lady called Rachel in the team, and I told her, Rachel, I'd like you to be the one hosting the next monthly virtual meetup. And I didn't tell her anything. I told her, like, just prepare the slides. You're going to be inviting the speaker and all these other different things. Then you're going to take questions right at the end. And she did it amazing. Then she told me now, there's another team, there's another community that has reached out to us, and they want me to co-host with them. Then I told her, please, by all means, represent the user group and do that. And over time, I can comfortably let her host any, like, moderate any monthly meetup. I can let her even host the physical ones. And I'm so happy because when I take a step back, it means that other people get a chance. I shine a light on them, and then they become more confident, and they now realize that they have a purpose in their community. So that is how I'd be able to put it.
And how has that aspect of letting go of control changed the way you lead?
It has made me actually have a better. Let me even track back first of all. I know I'm using one community, but there's another community, and I'll not mention it, that I lead, that I've done my best to let go of control and let people, like, trust people. But then you realize that they don't hold themselves to the highest of standards, and you always have to come through and save the situation. You always have to come through and do everything so that the community doesn't die off and all these other different things.
Yeah.
And if I go back to what you've asked in terms of, remind me the question because I'm just tracking back.
The one that I've currently asked.
Yes.
How the aspect of letting go of control has helped you lead.
Yeah. So it has helped me become a servant leader, whereby I don't have to manage people, like manage them and tell them what they have to do. It has reduced stress. People wonder, like, Kevin, how are you leading 4 communities or 4 communities, and they are all active, they are not dying off, they are not becoming dormant? How are you able to do all these other different things, like being a trainer, doing certifications, doing all these different things? And let me tell you a good example. An AWS exam, what happens is the moment you finish the exam, you don't get the results immediately.
Yeah.
You are being told you are all the things are going to be audited, how long you took the exam, how the camera was, and all the aspects of the exam. Then you're going to get the results later on. So there was one time when I don't know it was which exam. It was my very first professional exam. It's called Solutions Architect Professional.
Yeah.
It was so hard on me, and then I had to wait for so long to. And the funny thing is, I was doing it. I made another blunder. Things I've done in my life that I'll never ever do it again. Doing an exam during Christmas holidays, and then trying to do it at home. And then I told my parents, I mean, I didn't want to tell them I'm in an exam because later on they will have asked me, how did you score? So I lied to my parents, and I hope they're never going to see this recording. And I told them, I'm having a meeting with a person from the US. So that the time zone. So I started the exam at 3 a.m. So I told them I'm having a meeting with someone. I'll be going to the servants quarter, and that is where I'll be able to meet them so that I don't disturb the rest of the house. And then the moment I finish the exam, because the exam is like 3-4 hours, I think 3-4 hours. Like my eyes were super red, and like there's a lot of reading and everything. And my dad was like, it seems that meeting was very hard. It was a very hard meeting. I hope you are able to achieve whatever you are about. Then I told him yes. But in the back of my mind, even as you're doing shopping, as you are having meals, I was like, what have I gotten? I hope I really passed. Hope it was all worth it. Then finally I got the email that congratulations on passing your exam. Those are the moments you get to realize that yes, trust me, you can lead, and the only way to also even lead yourself is you. Do you know you can refresh your email until the moment you just stop refreshing? That is when the email comes. That is what happened to me, and that is what you understand in terms of helping me lead better. And the certification exams have really given me the character development to let go. Yeah.
And it seems like leadership is something that has always naturally come to you. Is that the case?
What? That?
Seems like leadership has always naturally come to you. Now I'm asking, is that the case?
No, not really, because the thing about leadership is you have to be entrusted by someone, by people people have to consent to you leading them. And for you to lead them, you have to lead yourself. You have to have for them to trust you, to lead them, they have to have seen something like you lead yourself well. You have these non-negotiables, like you keep time, you hold yourself to the highest standards, you have ethics, you have integrity, and all these different things. So I can say, for me, for those things that seem natural to me, it's the way you have ingredients and they make the best scrumptious meal. I always ask myself, if you decide to eat all those ingredients kando, will it make a good meal? It will never make a good meal. It has to be prepared, it has to be put together so that you can get those kind of things. And the other thing I've invested for me to be a good leader is reading a lot of books, like books by Miles Monroe, books by John Maxwell, and the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and all these and even local books in terms of leadership. So I always say that you cannot be a leader who is not a reader.
Mm-hmm.
A reader can become a leader, but someone who doesn't read is very hard to lead. That kind of a thing. But the Kikuyus and the L and the R, hope they are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And how has your definition of impact evolved over the years?
It has really evolved. For me, I thought impact was the number of people who get, for example, I started in being a lecturer. So I thought like the
Mm-hmm.
number of people who get an A in my unit, that kind of a thing. It was like if more people get an A, then that is
Mm-hmm.
good. Then later on I realized that people can get an A and they've just cheated on your exam because
Yeah.
of it. So that kind of a
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I realized that I had to come up with what we call a life mission statement. With the moment you asked me to introduce myself, that is
Yeah.
what I said out of my head, right? My mission, my
Mm-hmm.
life mission statement.
Yeah.
And that is what I hold myself accountable to as impact.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I'm able to say
Mm-hmm.
that for me, impact has moved from me and it
Mm-hmm.
being about my achievements
Mm-hmm.
to being about others. And
Mm-hmm.
if I see, like I can see amazing people here who have
Mm-hmm.
in one way or another. I can see Marcy Njambi, the same Marcy Njambi. She's been my mentee.
Mm-hmm.
Joel is my amazing friend.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, I can see amazing people who are here who can attest to what I'm actually saying, that
Mm-hmm.
it is me pouring my time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I always tell people this, for example, right
Mm-hmm.
now, Claire, we are
Yeah.
here with Upepo Voices. You can
Yeah.
be very sure that
Mm-hmm.
my head, my
Mm-hmm.
mind, my headspace, my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts are fully here. As much
Yeah.
as there's another event that I'm going to get into later on. And that
Yeah.
is what I tell people to do, is
Mm-hmm.
be fully present in the thing that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I'm done here, I'll not go
Mm-hmm.
in and start daydreaming about Upepo Voices. I'll have moved to another thing and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
fully present in that other thing. But what
Mm-hmm.
happens in this day and age, and I see most people making a mistake, is they're
Yeah.
always thinking about this next thing. You are
Yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm.
but you're instead of being fully concentrated in this session, you're
Mm-hmm.
also thinking, what are you going to have for lunch? Or you're already
Yeah.
when you get to lunch, you're already thinking about what are you going to watch on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix after lunch. You're always
Yeah.
on the next thing, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
fully present in the present.
And how would you advise someone to be where their feet are at? How do they come to that point?
Look, try to your best to be indestructible. Indestructible.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not talking about distraction, about distraction when you're distracted. So for
Okay.
me, I
Mm-hmm.
realized that there's always been that thing around, no offense to TikTok, but there's a way that TikTok and any short form video does this thing on you and psychologically conditions you to have very short attention span. So what I
Yeah.
realize is that I have to be conscious of the time I take
Mm-hmm.
when I watch a short videos. And if
Mm-hmm.
I've taken more than 5 minutes, I just leave it and I've watched enough. I cannot
Yeah.
be lost in the moment and I spend 4 hours on TikTok. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the other thing. You have to find ways of being indestructible. And
Mm-hmm.
there's also another book I'm listening to called Indestructible, and talks about there's something profound. I listened to that book, and the author was saying is
Mm-hmm.
we are living at an age where it is the easiest, it is the best time to be a human being and to be alive in, because remember in the Stone Age,
Yeah.
life was so hard. Then
Yeah.
you had the agricultural age. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to think about food that much. We don't have to
Yeah.
work. You go into a building, there's a lift to take you up, and all these
Mm-hmm.
other different things. You're living at an age where
Mm-hmm.
it is so amazing to be alive as a human being. But
Yeah.
yet still, then he said,
Mm-hmm.
but yet still,
Mm-hmm.
we are living at an age where we have the most unfulfilled human beings in the history of humankind. People who feel
Yeah. True.
unfulfilled. You
Mm-hmm.
see people killing each other. You see people committing suicide. You see people
Mm-hmm.
getting into drugs. All these
Mm-hmm.
other different things that are happening. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason being is simple. Is like people are looking for a distraction. People are looking for something. They don't want to face the thing that they have to face head on. So that is how I'll put it. Be fully present in the moment. Look for
Mm-hmm.
what makes you distracted, and put it away. For example, for me, if it's my phone, I put it on do not disturb. I cannot be getting like, hey, guys, can you help me? Wait a minute, let me take a call. I cannot do that. So that is a non-negotiable for me, because the beauty I always tell people is I am not a doctor. The only person who can take a call at any time because they might be saving a life is a doctor or a nurse. So so if in IT I'm not in the business of saving lives, then every call can wait. Every call can wait. So that's usually for me.
And for someone who would like to listen to the book that you're currently listening to, where would they find it?
So I'll try to see whether there's a YouTube version of it. It's called Indestructible, but I'll share with you. For me, I usually have an Audible subscription. I subscribe to Amazon's Audible, so I usually have a membership. Although you can pause the membership or you can buy credits. So it's on Audible. So that is why I have mine. But I think there's usually some way you can get it on YouTube. I'll look for it and I'll share with you. It's an amazing book on distraction. Yeah.
And there's something that you had mentioned about having a heart of service. How did you come to achieve that? Because it's not something that a lot of people would pride at. So tell us more about how you actually, I want to say allowed yourself to have the heart of service, but just talk about it for just a bit.
Yeah, for me, a heart of service, I think I put it back. It depends on a couple of different things. First of all, upbringing. For me, one person I can really attribute to that heart of service is my father, because there's this amazing story he always tells us, and I believe in it because I was alive when he did that decision. My dad had an opportunity to take a promotion from Nakuru and go to Nairobi and get a big salary job. But he realized that the moment he did that, we would lose that father figure presence in him. And we were at a very delicate time in our lives where we were trying to find ourselves. We are trying to see what career will we take. So he decided to turn down the promotion. And he tells us that there's something that he profoundly, it tells me and always reminds me, is his secretary, because he was a regional accountant at Telcom Kenya. He told him that that you Stephen Tuei, you really love your children. I would never see any other man who would have turned down a promotion for their family. So that heart of service, I've really taken it from my father. The other person is Jesus Christ. For me, I believe in Christianity, and I've really read a lot and watched a lot of things around Christianity. Nothing around whether he exists or not, or that kind of a thing. But that heart of service that Christ holds in Christianity and how it tells us is also something else. Then the other thing is you have to know how to let go of the things you hold so precious. And some of those things is like money. Sometimes we hold money so deeply in our hearts that, and it's very funny because when I went to Las Vegas, I realized that I have to have more heart of service because I had not gotten into the culture of tipping people. Like someone was like wondering, someone takes your bag from the ground floor and takes it to your room on maybe 20th floor, and then you have to have it in your heart to look for some $5 to give them as a tip. And I was like, wow, if I have to decide to count the money I'm giving out as tips, it will count to somebody else's salary if I continue to stay in the US in 1 month. So those are some of the things that make me realize that sometimes service is about, it's not even about the money and everything. Having a heart of service is you decreasing and I increasing. And I'll say something that I've never said in any video call or anyone. I usually, to anyone in anything, this is something I've never told people. Is anytime before, for example, even before I went to speak in front of the president last week, but one, I always look for the washroom. I have to go for the washroom for my, let me say, like my pre-speaking ritual. And my pre-speaking ritual is very simple. Is to ask God to make sure that it doesn't get into my head that it was by my own strength that I got here. So that is what I usually go and do. I'm already feeling anxious, but I'm always asking myself that let me not go there and make it look as if it was by my own strength that I was here. Then the moment I was in that moment, somebody from the presidential security was coming to the washroom, and then as we were washing hands and looking at each other on the washroom mirror, it was like it was. Then he told me like, "Are you the one supposed? Are you also supposed to be in that meeting that is just out there?
Yeah.
You better run there because the moment it starts, you'll not be able to get in there." Then I was like, then I ran there. Then we have to wait for another like 20 minutes. But he cut short my ritual. But and I do it every time. I do it anytime I speak at a community event. Any place, even right now, even before I came to this session, I was like, God, let it be not about me. Let it be about you. Let it be about others. And those are the things that people really need to put into them to always make sure that they put themselves second best. And people will always feel it. People will always feel when you are making it all about yourself or making it all about them.
Now, you have described clearly about how to give service. How is your relationship when you are the one receiving the service? How do you handle that?
Yeah, it reminds me of there's a certain book and it's a free book. Somebody can go get it. It's called The Go Giver. And we are living in a world where we are being conditioned to be go-getters. Go get these. You know, those motivational videos. You are capable. You are supposed to receive all these. Even the preachers every Sunday are like, open your hearts, receive. You're going to receive 5 million shillings. You're going to receive that job, that whole thing. And the thing is, in those, there's some laws around the go-giver, but usually say that the law that is there is that for you to be able to get, you have to open your hands to be ready to receive. So it says that you have to be the kind of person who makes sure that they open their hearts to receive. And you have to receive, those kind of people. I go back to that simple thing around, that African thing where you go to some as a friends or a neighbor or a relative's home and they offer you food. In real sense, you are very hungry, but you see you're not hungry.
Yeah, true.
You see, I'm good. I don't need that. Then the thing is, they bring that good kuku kienyeji well set out, and you're just saying uko sawa. Then you're wondering like, sulisema uko sawa. So that is the kind of thing that is there. So we have to be honest in our hearts when we are ready to receive, because people sometimes mistake and say they think that to open yourself to receiving is to show yourself like you are a beggar, or you are that person has control over you, and all these other different things. Yes, there are people who take advantage and say that si nilikusaidia upate ile kazi ama that kind of a thing, and si ulikubali na those kind of areas. But you have to be ready to have that heart of receiving by being go-givers. The only way for me, I have a whole heart of receiving, and always tell people, even when I mentor them, I hate it when I try to mentor someone and then they think that Kevin is so big a brand that he cannot learn anything from me. So I'm just going there to be lectured by Kevin, to be taught how to live life by Kevin. I always tell them, I want to listen to you. I want to know about your fears. I want to learn from you. I want to make it a two-way street so that by the time I'm finishing that mentorship, you will have gained and I will have gained. I'll have maybe gained, I'll have learned to be more humble. Maybe I'll have learned to be more open and all these other different things. So they'll always tell people, please don't come for mentorship and then think that I'm going to do all the work. You have to do the work together. Those are some of the things that people need to understand when it comes to receiving, especially when they get to high levels and they get to becoming big brands. Yeah.
And how will you advise someone who struggles with self-sabotage?
The first thing is, I love this quote that says, if there's no enemy within, then the enemy without can do you no harm.
Okay.
And the reason why I always remind myself of that, I think it's by Sun Tzu, the Art of War.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is
Mm-hmm.
the biggest enemy
Yeah.
is yourself, especially when
Yeah.
you're
True.
inconsistent. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, people think like Kevin has all it together. But
Mm-hmm.
trust me, I
Mm-hmm.
struggle with procrastination. I reschedule exams like 4 times before I decide to finally do it. I
Yeah.
struggle with sometimes, as I've told you, waking up in the morning. Sometimes,
Yeah.
unless I'm motivated, unless there's this good thing about going to Las Vegas and even not sleep, that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
a thing. So,
Yeah.
uh, so the one thing that people can do in terms of dealing with self-sabotage is
Mm-hmm.
going on a journey of self-awareness, like being ready
Mm-hmm.
to, I always say, be ready to face your own demons,
Yeah.
face the things that you don't want to face about yourself. And some of these
Mm-hmm.
things go way back to even a childhood trauma.
Yeah.
For me, there was a time when, although I cannot put it all publicly, somebody very close to me abused me. And I always, it always like, anytime I would fail, I would like, maybe that person ever, this person who ever said, Kevin, you'll never make it in life. And
Mm-hmm.
and it would get in my head, and I'm like, maybe that's the reason why I failed. Maybe it's true. Maybe
Yeah.
it's true that I can never make it in life. But the moment I
Mm-hmm.
got to that self-awareness, I
Mm-hmm.
turned that one thing that person said, and I told
Yeah.
you I was in a road to prove people wrong. Then I said,
Yeah.
I'm going to prove that person wrong by making it in life.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were when I was speaking in front of the president, but I hope they watched that I'm making it in life. Those are some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that people need to do. Yeah.
And what do you think is the most rewarding thing, sorry, about helping people?
The most rewarding thing for me is seeing them succeed. It's one
Mm-hmm.
thing to help people, and
Yeah.
another thing helping people and they succeed, and helping people with you expecting them to return the favor to you at some
Mm-hmm.
point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So the most rewarding thing for me is when I see those people succeed. I usually feel so bad when I help you, and
Mm-hmm.
then you are still the same person, when it means that we wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you help me and then you see me do the same thing, you advise me and tell me, Kevin, Apple, you
Mm-hmm.
didn't do well. Then I don't take the advice from you or that kind of a thing. So the most rewarding thing for me is when I see people be the best version of themselves, or
Mm-hmm.
get to be aware of themselves even much better, simply because we
Yeah.
interacted with each other.
Mm-hmm. And how do you
Yeah.
currently define success?
That's a very hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Success. For me, success is contentment. I
Mm-hmm.
think my biggest thing is, like, I'm contented with the car that I drive. I'm
Mm-hmm.
contented with the money that I'm currently making. I'm
Mm-hmm.
contented with the state of my community. I'm
Mm-hmm.
contented with my complexion. Simple things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
contented that gym is becoming very hard over time. I'm contented I cannot dance anymore. Those kind of things. So
Okay.
for me, success is when you get to a point of contentment,
Mm-hmm.
and another point where you when you overcome consumerism, where you want the latest iPhone, the latest the latest everything, the
Yeah.
latest bomber jacket, those kind of
Mm-hmm.
things. For me, success is when you are able to combine contentment
Mm-hmm.
and and ability to overcome consumerism. It goes
Mm-hmm.
back to a certain book that I read called The Redefining Success According to Jesus by
Mm-hmm.
somebody called Omar Diojandi. He was a pastor in Nairobi Chapel, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a doctor in Australia. It's called
Yeah.
Redefining Success According to Jesus. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned that a lot in terms of contentment
Mm-hmm.
and having your head over consumerism, especially
Mm-hmm.
things around alcoholism, around even so many different simple things, even
Mm-hmm.
even Netflix and football,
Yeah.
consumerism. I've
Mm-hmm.
been really in that. That is, if you're able to do that, it doesn't matter how much you're making, you're
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go far if you're not a victim of consumerism, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not a victim of not being fulfilled with where you are at the point in time where you are in this time.
And how do you deal with people who flop when you delegate duties to them?
Yeah, as I told you, for me, I just cut you off. There's no way they like I just tell you I'll have a one-on-one. For example, there was a time when there was one leader who was not attending meeting. Then I
Mm-hmm.
asked, I did not, before I cut them off, I asked them. And the beauty is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can go the other way. I told them,
Mm-hmm.
what is going on? Why are you missing meetings? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
not communicating in time that you are that you had this and that and that and that? Then he
Yeah.
told me like, oh, this thing that has been happening in my life. Now I get to understand. Oh, okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Then I empathize and I sympathize and I say, okay, let me give you a bit of time. Can we do
Mm-hmm.
this? Can I give you space?
Mm-hmm.
Please take time, no
Mm-hmm.
pressure. Then
Mm-hmm.
when you come back, please let me know. But if
Mm-hmm.
things go haywire and you are not like so unresponsive and cannot
Mm-hmm.
even come on a one-on-one with me,
Mm-hmm.
I cut you off. No, there's no and there's no hate, but I
Mm-hmm.
always like, you are the sum total of the people who are around you. So I always
Yeah.
make sure that you are not going to be in my inner circle. I make sure that you're just going to be there. We are going to, you know me, I know you, we know each other sometimes, some around. It also happens with me. And even it happens with those people who become your exes or something. They're there, you don't hate them,
Yeah.
but you make sure that you stay clear so that they don't affect you.
And for a leader who is struggling to deal with this, what I would say in quotes, difficult people, how would you advise them to move forward?
Pardon?
I'm saying for leaders who are struggling to deal with this, in quotes, difficult people who are, as you
Mhm,
said, unresponsive, how would you
mhm.
advise on how would they move forward from that?
Yeah. So for me, first of all, I wouldn't label anyone difficult unless they choose that for themselves. The
Okay.
biggest problem we have sometimes
Mm-hmm.
is, especially for leaders, is we are
Mm-hmm.
very quick to judge someone, yet we don't have the whole story. Maybe that
Mm-hmm.
person is just undergoing grief
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know. Or
Yeah.
that person, when they go home,
Mm-hmm.
they are being abused by their partner and you don't know.
Yeah.
And many things that can be going on in their lives that you might not be privy of.
Yeah.
But when I think you've ever seen that small movie of someone who, like the father would change clothes and wear a tie and a suit when they get home, but
Mm-hmm.
but outside there they are a cleaner, so that they just
Mm-hmm.
make their child realize that they are
Mm-hmm.
not just working menial jobs or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I would say for leaders when they're dealing with people, and I've mentioned, is be patient with them, try
Mm-hmm.
to get the whole story. But
Mm-hmm.
the one thing you should never ever compromise on is respect. The moment
Mm-hmm.
someone disrespects you, don't
Mm-hmm.
even waste another second. Cut
Yeah.
them off. If it's supposed they're supposed to be fired, initiate the process, because
Mm-hmm.
disrespect is one of the highest form of something that you cannot never get back from. And the
Yeah.
moment you make it normal,
Mm-hmm.
others in that organization will disrespect you. And that
Mm-hmm.
and that is why usually here a leader was overthrown and they didn't see it coming, because
Yeah.
they just left, they compromised on disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now for people who look up to you as their role model and people who would actually want to be you in a way, what do you have
Yeah.
to say to them?
For me is look for the best. There's so different there are different types of leadership, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to look at your personality. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it is easy for me to become a servant leader because
Yeah.
I've told you, I've shared about my upbringing, I've shared
Mm-hmm.
about how the things. But there are some
Mm-hmm.
people who their type of leadership could
Mm-hmm.
be different depending on
Yeah.
how their personality is. So the
Mm-hmm.
one thing I would tell anyone wanting to become not like me, but becoming a very good leader
Yeah.
is, first of all, do a simple personality test. Let's make it
Mm-hmm.
practical. Do a simple personality test. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
different personality tests that are out there. I don't know
Yeah.
which one is the best one. You maybe tell them,
Mm-hmm.
but do a simple personality test and look at the kind of person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Then after you do
Mm-hmm.
your personality test as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
look at the things that you struggle in leading yourself in. You've mentioned it, Claire, like
Yeah.
self-sabotage,
Mm-hmm.
because you might be wanting to be a leader,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you're already a leader, but
Yeah.
self-sabotage is always you're taking 5 steps ahead, but you're taking
Mm-hmm.
7 steps behind. So
Mm-hmm.
every time you're thinking you're moving, but you're either mark timing or even getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other thing is, don't skip the steps. There are people who think they can move from what, you know, like even Elizabeth can mention this, like becoming
Mm-hmm.
a founder or a CEO,
Yeah.
and maybe you are an employee
Mm-hmm.
who is very difficult to be led, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to become a CEO who will
Mm-hmm.
not only will you have to expect others to be led by you. It becomes a
Mm-hmm.
very problematic process. So
Yeah.
don't skip the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Be a servant, like be ready to be led, be humble
Mm-hmm.
enough to be led, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can get that opportunity to lead others. And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing that I would put out there is,
Mm-hmm.
try your best to make sure that you you have these things. There's a certain book, I've forgotten the author, it's called Radical Candor, is
Yeah.
feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Feedback. You have to make sure that your feedback is constructive. You have to make sure that, because the biggest problem that we are having with leaders and those
Mm-hmm.
who are being led is
Yeah.
how they receive feedback and how they
Mm-hmm.
give feedback. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are able to crack that when it comes to communication and giving and receiving feedback, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be good to go. For me, and you have to understand that the moment you put yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
you'll always get you have to discern feedback that is meant to grow you, and
Yeah.
feedback that is not actually feedback. It's just people who is hating on you,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of a thing. There are some people, I'm very sure,
Mm-hmm.
I know people close to me are saying, Kevin, I saw you talking with the president. But there are some people who out there saying, ona venye alikuwa anajifanya, kwani nadhani mimi singeenda state house kama yeye alienda state house. There's obviously there's another side of the coin that I might not be privy of, but there are
Yeah.
people who definitely did not like the fact that I was the one standing on that podium. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be ready for those kind of feedback, especially when you put yourself online and you
Mm-hmm.
put all these different things about yourself,
Yeah.
and you do all these different things that are there.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of legacy would you love to leave behind?
A legacy where people are, like, let's say, legacy is very crazy because you never see yourself. No, legacy usually feels like you are dying, right? It has that kind of
Yeah.
a thing, like you've left this world and you've left something there. But for me, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you can leave a legacy even when you're alive, because when you leave an organization, people will remember who you are when you left that organization and how you left them, or even when you leave leadership and you give it to others. So
Mm-hmm.
legacy, sometimes people think about it when you're at the death, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes legacy can be you are still alive, but you are usually this saying that says you have to give up to go up. So for
Mm-hmm.
me to become better than who I am right now, I might need
Mm-hmm.
to leave being a leader for certain communities. I might need to
Mm-hmm.
maybe leave being as maybe even the CTO for Solavis Tech, or those leaders that I have to leave. And that is why I always tell people,
Yeah.
please don't tie your identity to the title you hold, whether you are the research officer in a certain
Mm-hmm.
organization, whichever title you hold, don't
Mm-hmm.
make that your identity. That is why
Mm-hmm.
anytime I'm told to introduce myself, I'll never
Mm-hmm.
mention the organization. Sometimes even certain organizations are competing with each other. So
Yeah.
I might be messing up my NDAs and my contracts. So those
Yeah.
are some of the things that I usually say. But make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you don't tie your identity on the thing, on the titles you hold, but tie
Mm-hmm.
your identity on the purpose you aspire. So that is how you leave
Mm-hmm.
a legacy. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
legacy is when I see
Mm-hmm.
people contented, because all the different things we see, even crimes, even
Mm-hmm.
homicides and femicides, and all these things that hurt us. I
Yeah.
stopped watching news, by the way. And
Yeah.
and funny thing is,
Mm-hmm.
there's a way still even try to my best. These days I think I don't go back to X. X has a lot of rage baiting and all these different things that
Yeah.
are there. You
Yeah.
get in there and you feel roho yako imechafuka simply
Mm-hmm.
because of the things that are going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is all these things, it goes back to, I really wish we could go back. I'll have left a legacy if people can be contented with what they're doing and they're living their best life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who would you say is your greatest hero stroke mentor?
A human being or something bigger?
Whatever it is that you want.
For me, my greatest mentor, I would say, is first of all Jesus Christ. My
Mm-hmm.
second mentor is my dad. And
Mm-hmm.
my third mentor is a guy called Dr. Madison Gatteson. I'm even
Mm-hmm.
doing a mentorship with him.
Yeah.
The reason why I first of all put my dad, and you hear me a lot talk about my dad and not my mom, although my mom, I
Yeah.
totally love her and everything,
Mm-hmm.
is simply because there's that thing around being the person who is doing the thing. And
Yeah.
for me, I would say it's because the reason why that I choose the three is the platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, Jesus has given me favors that I did not deserve.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people who would have deserved to go to Las Vegas, they didn't. To
Mm-hmm.
Rwanda, they didn't. To
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to China. I even started. I don't want to say where I'm going next because
Mm-hmm.
the village people will, will do something on it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going somewhere else next month.
Mm-hmm.
And all these different things is like kuna kwanga na hiyo wimbo inasemanga oh many pendele or something. I'm not a very good singer, but I used to sing. I was in a cappella band in high school, and I was a worship leader of the Christian Union. How that changed from high school to becoming a salsa dancer in campus, don't ask me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that is how things happen. And for me, it is people who gave me platforms. And my
Mm-hmm.
dad gave me a platform to shine and gave me the hope and told me one day you're going to go to university. It happened. And
Mm-hmm.
always very proud. Like I always tell my dad my wins. He sends me like, I wish I can show you his messages. His messages, and it's not AI generated, like typed.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time when he was typing with the Nokia 3310. And those there where you press all those buttons, then you'd still write a very long message, like a message that is this big. And then
Yeah.
you'll always finish like from your loving and caring dad. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I would even send it to my fiancée, and she would get tired of reading it before she finished or something. And
Yeah.
right now, the moment my fiancée joined the family, my
Mm-hmm.
dad always sends it to everyone. If he's complimenting you, he'll send it to
Mm-hmm.
your sister. All your
Mm-hmm.
I have two sisters, and I'm the only son. So
Yeah.
my big sister and my small sister, and now my
Mm-hmm.
fiancée. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime
Mm-hmm.
anytime there's something that he's sending, and because he
Mm-hmm.
now met my fiancée, we are going to be, he sends it to everyone. So
Yeah.
these days I don't even have to send it to her. She says, I've received it. I've asked her, have you received my dad's message? You have received it. So everyone now he does a broadcast message to everyone so that everyone knows
Yeah.
that kind of a thing. So have someone who is very proud of you. Might not be having a father or a mother, but have
Mm-hmm.
that kind of person who is truly, genuinely happy for your successes.
Yeah. Someone who is speaking life into you generally.
Exactly.
So that was our time, Kevin. I have really enjoyed this conversation. So unless there's something else that you'd like to say.
I'd really, if there are some questions, I'd be happy to answer. But this one thing I'll
Mm-hmm.
let people know is do two
Mm-hmm.
things. First of all, always show up.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing that gives you an upper hand as someone who always shows up. Like people
Yeah.
know, if you ask Kevin to come and speak at your event, he will
Mm-hmm.
come. He'll not ask you,
Mm-hmm.
mnaniekea mafuta ama mnafanya nini. I'll not ask those kind of
Yeah.
weird questions. I'll come
Mm-hmm.
through. The moment I say yes, I will come through. So always
Yeah.
show up. Then the
Mm-hmm.
second thing is the moment now after you show up, don't
Mm-hmm.
be timid. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't stay in the back bencher. Don't be the person people even forget.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I usually see is very powerful. You know, people think that the keynote speaker is the most powerful person, but the most powerful person is the person who has as many conversations in the room because he'll
Yeah.
have spoken more minutes than the keynote speaker or
Mm-hmm.
any other speaker. So anytime you
Mm-hmm.
go to any networking,
Mm-hmm.
let people know what you're building, let people
Mm-hmm.
know who you are as a person, and
Yeah.
have a like have a lovely high personality, like breathe life into people. Let people, the moment even they hug you, they feel like, wow, I'm feeling relaxed. Let godliness ooze out of you. So that those
Yeah.
are the two things. Always show up, but when you show up, don't be timid.
Yeah.
Be the aura of the room, be the life of the room, and let people know who you are and what you are doing, because it's never that small. Don't self-sabotage. It's never that small, whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Now, unless there's someone who has a question, because I don't see any at the chat, I think I would close it at here. Unless there's someone who has something to say or ask, I'll take it there is none. So thank you very much, Kevin, for honoring our invite. Oh, Samuel, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear
someone
me
can hear
right?
you. Yes, can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Samuel Waweru. I'm a second year computer science student at Taraka University. Yeah, Kevin is my lecturer, and I'm glad. Actually, he's my exemplar. Yeah, we do have some little conversations. I always consulting me and there. Yeah, and the moment, actually, I've been following this thing from Monday. Yeah, I've been setting my alarms, my calendar, so that I don't miss this session. Yeah, and I'm happy. Yeah, as he said, showing up. I've been showing up as he's been guiding us. He's an exemplar to us. And
Yeah.
actually, I've gone to rooms I never expected to, and I've done things I even never expected. So and that's why I'm even in this room, because he's here, and I've seen the good works he does. So it's great, and it's great having you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you so much, Samuel, even for setting the alarm, most especially. Thank you very much for that part. We're very grateful. Unless there's someone else, I don't see any. So as I was saying, thank you very much, Kevin, for honoring our invite. You are truly a busy man, and saying yes to us, we do not take it for granted.
And just know I've sacrificed lunch, so I'm not going to go lunch. I'm finishing this and going directly to the session. So this was, just know that it was worth all the way, and I've learned a lot. Thanks so much for engaging me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Lord will reward you greatly. We do not
Yeah,
take it for
sure.
granted. So
Yeah,
for
and all the
anyone who,
best. Upepo Voices is headed for like greatness. I don't think I've ever seen somewhere else where somebody asks you, Kevin, can you share us a message about your father? By the way, writing that message made me, it really changed me in a way. So thank you so much for making me write that message and attribute to my dad. Because
Welcome.
yeah, you guys are doing amazing and you're headed for greatness.
Thank you,
Oh,
Kevin.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for showing up, and for everyone who showed up, because we had Kevin on the platform today. I think I will say I'm very grateful for all the participants, those who attended. And to be honest, this is the first time we have had so many people on the call.
Yeah.
So people are really excited to see you, Kevin, as well.
Thank you so much.
This is the first time we've had this many people in our conversations. So asante
You're
sana.
welcome.
May God greatly, greatly bless you, and may you be in more platforms and share
Thank
our
you.
story with more people as well.
Definitely. I can't wait. I can't wait. And I can't wait to come back again. Let's have a
Yes.
part two of this. Trust me, you could have gotten more people. It's just, I think
Yes.
most of these people, I sent them the link 10
Oh,
minutes before
that's
the session.
good.
Trust me, I sent them the link 10 minutes before the session or something. So
Yes,
trust me, let's have a part two. Come
we
after some
will.
few speakers. Let's have a part two and let's talk about something else. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we sure will.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry you
Thank
had
you.
to miss lunch.
No worries. I'm already full with their words and their heart. And yeah, trust me, you guys are doing amazing. I can't wait to give you. If you have a feedback, you have all the feedback. Keep doing what you're doing,
Thank
because
you.
what happens is we are so stuck in tech and technical stuff that you're not talking about the right thing. You know, people might see me and I'm doing amazing things, but they don't know about what makes Kevin Kevin.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
and I'm so happy you've asked those questions. You've made me even remind myself of more about myself, even be more self-conscious and all those different things. And yeah, thank you so much, Claire. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
You're-
Please invite me on the next one. I would want to sit in and listen to the next speaker. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Mhm.
Have a
You're
wonderful
welcome.
weekend.
Thank you. Nice one, and have a nice one to you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.